Did you know that nearly 70% of people over 60 are silently living with high blood pressure, clogged arteries, or irregular heart rhythms, yet most have no idea? Even scarier, many truly believe that taking vitamins and supplements every day is the key to protecting their heart. But the harsh reality is that some vitamin combinations that seem harmless may actually be the hidden culprits quietly damaging the heart. As we age, the body clears minerals more slowly, medications interact more easily, and just one wrong combination can spike blood pressure, disrupt heart rhythm, or even trigger blood clots. And yet, most older adults still believe that the more vitamins they take, the better. In this video, I'll uncover the 5 worst vitamin combinations for heart health after 60. And I promise the final one is so common it may already be sitting in your medicine cabinet. But it's also the most dangerous. Before we begin, I want to hear from you. Where are you watching from? And more importantly, what heart problems are you dealing with right now? Unstable blood pressure, sudden palpitations, or that constant unexplained fatigue? Share your story in the comments below. I'll go through each one and respond, so together we can protect your heart and your independence. If you are over 60, let me ask you a question. Do you take vitamin D and calcium every day to protect your bones? Most seniors do, and on the surface, it seems like the right thing. But here's the uncomfortable truth: without 2 critical partners, vitamin K2 and magnesium, that same routine may silently harden your arteries and strain your heart. Think about it. You're swallowing something you believe keeps you safe, but instead, it could be planting the seeds for the very heart attack or stroke you're desperate to avoid. Doctors in the U.S. have been prescribing calcium and vitamin D for decades. Good for the bones, good for aging, they said. And yet, what the mainstream rarely explained is this calcium is a passenger. It doesn't know where to go. Without magnesium to guide absorption and vitamin K2 to direct calcium into bones, it has a dangerous habit of lodging in your arteries, kidneys, or even heart valves. The result: arteries stiffen like old pipes, blood pressure climbs, and your heart, already vulnerable with age, works harder and harder until one day it gives out. You might shrug and think, well, that can't be me. But research from the Journal of the American Heart Association has shown that seniors who take high-dose calcium without K2 face a significantly higher risk of arterial calcification. And here's the pain echo: every time you pop that pill without its partners, you're not just missing the benefit, you may be fueling the problem. The fatigue you feel climbing stairs, the unexplained shortness of breath, even the occasional chest flutter, it might not be just aging. It could be calcium going rogue inside your body. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine the desire, keyword independence. Picture yourself walking with steady legs, breathing freely, enjoying your morning garden without worrying your heart might suddenly give out. That future is possible not by cutting out supplements, but by pairing them wisely. Magnesium helps your cells use energy, calms your heart rhythm, and prevents dangerous spikes in blood pressure. K2 acts like a traffic cop, pushing calcium away from arteries and into bones where it belongs. Together, they transform a risky duo into a protective trio. But here's the catch, and it's why I started with this combination. Many seniors in America have cupboards full of vitamin D and calcium because they're cheap, advertised everywhere, and handed out like candy. Few even know what K2 is. And magnesium, often overlooked, even though nearly 70% of adults over 60 are deficient. That gap between what we believe and what our body really needs is exactly where danger hides. So before you reach for your next pill, pause and look at your label. Does it include K2? Are you getting enough magnesium from greens, beans, or a gentle supplement. If not, your bone health routine could be quietly sabotaging your heart. And this is just the beginning. We're only at number 1, and already we've uncovered a trap sitting in nearly every senior's kitchen cabinet. Stay with me, because the next combinations may seem even more surprising and possibly just as risky. Before we dive deeper, if what I've shared so far is already helping you see the hidden risks around you more clearly, drop a 1 in the comments below. I'll read and respond to each one so we can work through these issues together. Have you noticed more bruises lately? Frequent nosebleeds that won't stop? Or small cuts that seem to take forever to clot? Those little signals aren't always just age. Sometimes they're the side effects of a so-called heart-healthy duo omega-3 combined with vitamin E, especially when that vitamin E is the synthetic form DL-alpha tocopherol. Most people believe omega-3 and vitamin E both protect the heart, but when taken together the wrong way, they can thin your blood too much. Omega-3s already reduce platelet clumping. Add high-dose vitamin E on top, particularly the synthetic form, and the effect gets amplified. The result? Bruises show up more easily, bleeding lasts longer, and in the worst case, you face a higher risk of internal bleeding. Here's the pain echo: dizziness, unexplained fatigue. Random bruises, don't just chalk them up to getting older. They may be signs your blood is simply too thin from the combo you're taking every morning. I remember Mr. Lee, age 73. He took omega-3 with breakfast, added a vitamin E capsule for antioxidants, and occasionally used aspirin from an old prescription. Within weeks, his legs were covered in dark bruises, his gums bled whenever he brushed, and he landed in the ER with a minor GI bleed. The doctor didn't blame omega-3 or vitamin E alone. It was the stacked effect of multiple blood thinners, a trap many adults over 60 are unknowingly caught in. So how can you stay safe? First, read your labels. If your fish oil already includes added vitamin E, don't double up with an extra E capsule. Especially avoid DL-alpha tocopherol. If you're on aspirin, clopidogrel, or prescription anticoagulants, always check with your doctor or pharmacist before continuing omega-3. Sometimes the solution is as simple as choosing a pure EPA plus DHA product without added E, lowering the dose, or avoiding multiple overlapping supplements. Remember, if your goal is a strong, safe heart, balance, not more is better, is the real key. Here's a practical tip. Write down every blood-thinning source you use in a day: omega-3 vitamin E, aspirin, herbs like ginkgo or high-dose garlic, and bring that list to your pharmacist. Just 5 minutes of review can reduce fatigue, dizziness, and the bleeding risks you may be silently carrying. Because what we're after isn't just prettier lab numbers. It's independence, the ability to walk steadily, garden, and play with your grandkids without being covered in bruises or rushing to the ER for a bleeding scare. When you fine-tune this combo, you're giving your heart safer protection, not gambling with your health. And if you think omega-3 plus vitamin E is the only stacking effect to watch out for, stay tuned. Because another pair widely sold in electrolyte powders and mineral supplements may quietly short-circuit your heart's rhythm, especially when your kidneys aren't what they used to be. You'll want to hear that one closely. Let's talk about another combination that often hides in plain sight inside electrolyte powders, mineral drinks, or energy tablets that so many older adults are encouraged to use. On the label, it looks harmless: potassium plus magnesium. Good for muscles, good for energy, right? But here's the problem. Once your kidneys pass 60, can no longer filter minerals as efficiently. This duo can silently push your heart's electrical system into dangerous territory. Potassium is essential for maintaining a steady heartbeat. Magnesium supports electrical conduction and keeps the heart muscle contracting rhythmically. But if you take both in high doses at the same time, while age-related kidney function is declining, blood levels of these minerals can rise beyond safe limits. The result: irregular heartbeat, palpitations, even sudden cardiac arrest. And the scary part is, these disruptions don't always announce themselves with crushing chest pain. More often, they show up as a fleeting flutter, a wave of unusual fatigue easy to dismiss until the real crisis strikes. I remember Mrs. Johnson, 68, who carried an electrolyte drink powder to her Tai Chi class. She believed potassium and magnesium would keep her body stronger, but after just a few weeks, she started experiencing nighttime palpitations, dizziness, and eventually ended up in the hospital. The doctors found her blood potassium and magnesium had climbed beyond safe ranges, partly because her kidneys couldn't clear them fast enough. This is a textbook example of the mineral trap many seniors fall into. The solution isn't to cut them out completely, but to use them wisely. If you're taking diuretics, ACE inhibitors, or living with chronic kidney disease, you must talk to your doctor before adding any product that contains potassium plus magnesium. Sometimes, even one can of an energy-boosting electrolyte drink per day is enough to overload your heart. A practical tip, instead of relying on supplements, favor natural food sources, leafy greens, beans, bananas, or a modest serving of whole grains. The body absorbs these gradually and keeps levels safer. What we're aiming for isn't just a quick energy boost, but a steady, reliable heartbeat so you can walk confidently, sleep peacefully, and enjoy your later years without fearing sudden rhythm disturbances. And remember, this is only number 3. There's another combination, so common you might be taking it every day, that could act as a silent trigger against your heart. Now let's move to a pairing that almost every senior has heard of, and many take daily iron plus vitamin C. On the surface, seems like common sense. Doctors often say, take your iron with vitamin C, it helps absorption. And yes, that's true when you're young and dealing with iron deficiency, but past 60, this combination can quietly become more harmful than helpful. Here's why. Vitamin C boosts the absorption of non-heme iron, the type found in supplements and plant foods. But as we age, most seniors are not iron deficient. In fact, many already have borderline or high iron levels, especially men and postmenopausal women. When you keep adding iron and supercharge its absorption with vitamin C, excess iron doesn't just sit harmlessly. It builds up in tissues, acting like rust inside your body. This rusting process is called oxidative stress. Extra iron catalyzes free radical reactions, damaging cells in your liver, pancreas, heart, and even brain. The consequences: higher risks of diabetes, liver disease, heart failure, and neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's. The pain echo here is subtle but real: constant fatigue, joint aches, brain fog symptoms that many dismiss as normal aging, but that may be iron quietly corroding your system. I once met Mr. Harris, 72, who took an iron plus C combo tablet just to stay strong. Within a year, his ferritin levels were double the safe range. He complained of crushing fatigue, unexplained joint stiffness, and later was diagnosed with early-stage heart failure linked to iron overload. No one had told him that after a certain age, the danger isn't too little iron, it's too much. So what's the safe path forward? First, don't supplement iron unless blood tests show you're truly deficient. Second, if you need vitamin C, take it through fresh fruits and vegetables, not as a constant pill combined with iron. And third, ask your doctor to check your ferritin levels because, unlike vitamin D or calcium, iron storage isn't something you can feel until damage is done. Remember, health after 60 is not about loading the body with more, it's about balance and precision. By avoiding unnecessary iron and high-dose vitamin C combos, you protect your organs from the inside out. And don't click away yet because the next combination, one you probably think is gentle and natural, might be interfering with your medications in ways that could shock you. Before I continue, if what I'm sharing is helping you see these hidden risks more clearly, please type the number 1 in the comments below. That way, I'll know you're still with me, and I promise to read and respond to each one. Now, let's move to a combination that sounds harmless because it's inside dozens of electrolyte powders, energy drinks, and mineral supplements that many older adults take every day, calcium plus magnesium, especially when taken in the wrong ratio. Both are essential minerals. Calcium is key for bones, while magnesium keeps your heartbeat steady and your muscles relaxed. But here's the paradox. If you load up on too much calcium without enough magnesium, calcium dominates, causing muscle cramps, higher blood pressure, and even arrhythmias. On the flip side, if you take high doses of magnesium while your kidneys are no longer filtering as well as they used to, a very common issue after 65, your body can't eliminate the excess. The result: slowed heartbeat, dizziness, low blood pressure, even cardiac arrest. The pain echo here. Those sudden heart palpitations, slight hand tremors, or moments of lightheadedness when standing up. Many people shrug it off as just getting up too quickly. But in reality, the heart's electrical system may be short-circuiting from the imbalance between calcium and magnesium. I remember Elaine, 69 years old, who drank an electrolyte packet every morning, thinking it kept her hydrated and energized. But the brand she used had a high magnesium dose on top of her already weakened kidneys. Within months, she was hospitalized for dangerously slow heart rhythms. The doctors explained it wasn't that magnesium itself was toxic, it was the wrong person, wrong dose, wrong combination. So how can you stay safe? First, check the label. Many electrolyte powders and multivitamins mix calcium and magnesium. Look at the ratio. Ideally, calcium should not exceed twice the amount of magnesium. Second, if your kidneys aren't as strong as before, be extremely cautious with high-dose magnesium supplements. Third, prioritize natural sources: calcium from dairy, almonds, leafy greens, magnesium from beans, nuts, and whole grains. Food often provides a naturally balanced ratio that supplements can't replicate. Remember, your heart is like a biological clock. If calcium and magnesium fall out of sync, that clock ticks unevenly. But when balanced correctly, it keeps steady, reliable time protecting your heartbeats for years to come. And we're only at number 5. In the next section, we'll look at a combination found in nearly every multivitamin for seniors. Yet it may quietly damage your liver and nerves if taken long-term. A pair that seems absolutely safe because it shows up in almost every senior multivitamin, vitamin B6, combined with niacin vitamin B3. Most people think, B vitamins can only help my nerves and metabolism. What could possibly go wrong? But the truth is more complicated. Both B6 and niacin are important. B6 supports nerve signaling and helps your body make red blood cells. Niacin widens blood vessels and can lower cholesterol. Yet in high doses, especially when taken long-term, this duo can quietly turn toxic. Excess B6 can damage peripheral nerves, causing tingling, cortage, burning body, or that pins and needles feeling in your hands and feet. Meanwhile, high-dose niacin, often 500 mg or more, or in so-called flush-free forms, can stress the liver, raise liver enzymes, and even trigger drug-induced hepatitis. Here's the pain echo: muscle weakness, numbness in your hands and feet, loss of balance when walking, or sudden flushing with a racing heartbeat after swallowing what you thought was a harmless vitamin. Many dismiss these as minor side effects, but over time they may signal nerve and liver damage. I remember Mrs. Harris, age 72, who took a Super B complex every day for over a year. At first, she felt more energetic, but gradually, she developed numbness in her feet, lost grip strength with small objects, and her lab work revealed elevated liver enzymes. When her doctor reviewed her supplements, the culprit was clear excessive B6 and niacin, far above safe recommendations. So what's the safer path? First, don't fall for more is better. With B vitamins, the daily recommended allowance, RDA, is usually enough. Extra won't make you stronger. It can make you weaker. Second, if you already take a multivitamin, avoid stacking another B complex pill unless prescribed. Third, if you notice unusual tingling, flushing, or weakness, don't shrug it off as just aging. Tell your doctor. What you truly want isn't just prettier lab results, it's independence, walking steadily, holding things firmly, and keeping your liver healthy enough to enjoy meals with your family without hidden fatigue or damage. And remember, this is only number 6. Next, I'll reveal another innocent-looking combo that may quietly speed up bone loss, making hip fractures more likely than ever. We've just walked through the hidden traps and supplement combinations that so many seniors never suspect: vitamin D and calcium without their partners, omega-3 and vitamin E, magnesium with potassium, iron with vitamin C, and more. Each pairing looks harmless on the surface, yet without balance and awareness, they can quietly undermine the very health you're trying to protect. And I understand health is not just numbers on a lab report. For you, it's being strong enough to tend your garden in the cool morning, walking steadily to church without fearing a stumble, or laughing at the dinner table with your grandkids without another trip to the ER weighing on your mind. The choices we make, what we swallow each day, can mean the difference between a life of silent worry and a life of independence, joy, and peace. If today's video helped you see your health more clearly, please don't keep it to yourself. Share it with family, friends, or someone in your community who may also be taking these supplements without realizing the risks. Before you leave, hit the like button so YouTube knows this message matters, and click subscribe so you never miss the next valuable insight. Most importantly, drop a comment. Tell me where you're watching from and which combination surprised you most. I read every single one, and your stories guide the videos to come. Remember, protecting your health after 60 isn't about swallowing more pills. It's about taking the right ones, the right way. And together, step by step, we'll make sure the best years are still ahead. So let me ask, which pairing shocked you more, calcium with D or omega-3 with vitamin E? Type your answer below. I can't wait to hear what you think.